What's happening? What's good? I hope you're doing well. Today we're gonna be looking at the markets. Each and every Monday we're looking at the markets, and I'm excited because over the past weekend I actually caught a nice, beautiful trade on BTC USD. But I want us to actually take a look at what I'm seeing for the week, and at the same time what I'll be executing on if I do happen to find any entries. But at the same time, I want you to be able to know that everything that I say here is definitely not financial advice, but what you can see is literally what I do each and every single day when I'm looking at the markets, how I observe the markets, and as well how I analyze. But most importantly, since I do this on a day-to-day basis, you can learn without even paying a single cent, because anyways, these videos are free. So let's get straight to it. I'm going to start off first with the dollar index. So the past few weeks, we've been seeing it drop massively to the downside. And right now I can see that I've got this trend line that I drew here all the way to the downside, which was representing this lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and lower low. So right now I can simply see that we already broke above this trend line that we've got here, but it doesn't mean that it's a confirmation of us going all the way to the upside. Because why? There's still a lower high that can be presented, and the price goes all the way down, and then maybe from there what we would be seeing is maybe a third touch at the bottom here before price pushes upwards. But we obviously have to be a bit more careful with how we see or execute on the markets, because looking at it right now I can simply see that this is a breakout, but it doesn't mean that it's a full confirmation. The only time I can get a full confirmation is if price pushes a bit more upwards, it breaks above this lower high, and then once it does go back down, let me use something more like this. See this lower high? If price happens to break above and then comes back down to create a new lower high, to create a new higher low, and then so when we would be able to just take all those buys to the upside then. But that is just what I'm seeing in terms of on the long-term perspective. But let me just go to a smaller time frame, like let's say now for the 60 minutes, just to see what can happen maybe as soon as price opens up, what we can expect and all those things. So looking at it right now, I can see we are in this beautiful upward movement right here. Obviously we've got this first touch here, second, and now here third touches, even some double bottom structures here. So with the past structure, I can see we've got this higher high here, then more like a higher low, then high, but this high wasn't broke. So basically this is a double top structure because we couldn't break the previous high, and then price came a bit more to the downside like now. So what we'll be seeing is that we've got area of support here, and then as well area of resistance here. So we'll be seeing maybe price play around here, and then after giving a bounce here, we might see price pushing a bit more to the upside and giving that break to the upside and so on. So that's just one thing that we could be seeing. At the same time, maybe price can just start playing a bit more around, come here, that touches here, and then go down, and then boom, maybe here we could either see a buy off or we could see a sell off. But obviously it's more on about following through with the market. So this is one of the things that when trading manually, you'd be able to face things like this, however you have to wait patiently, scan those trades and see. But the advantage of it is that once you do happen to find a profitable trade, you can manage it and run with it. So you can still, scale on that profitable trade, meaning that if I do happen to execute here a buy and then it's going all the way to the upside, I can still be able to just add more buy positions. And then that's how, you'd be able to make more from that exact same trade that you caught. And then EURUSD. So with this one here, more similar to the same. So one thing that we're looking at now in terms of price, I'll just start off first here with the 4-hour. So here we can simply see, obviously, every price was moving up, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and so on. And then this was a huge spike out when news came out, and then could see just went up and down here, and then more like a lower low. So right now we are here at lower high, and then one thing that we could be seeing is either price could come test here these lows and then go here, resistance here that touches, and then from here would either see it push out all the way to the upside, or we might see maybe respecting then going all the way down. So that could happen, but more also since this is a low, we could either see also price just breaking below, then coming back up to retest somewhere around here, and then we could execute that sell on it. So either way, this is gonna be dependent as well on what the outcome of the dollar index is gonna be. So if the dollar index, let's say for instance, happens to break to the upside, means that automatically we'll be able to know that okay, there's a high chance EURUSD is gonna be selling, you understand? So basically that's how we'll be looking at it as well. So but so far with this, I was able to spot that this could be an opportunity that I'm looking for during the week, but it all depends on different criteria that I'm going to be waiting for. But so far it does tick, the box for me to be able to look for executions on it, especially on the 1 hour time frame. But ultimately I don't want to catch myself on the wrong side of the market, so obviously I'll just have to respect what's being shown. And then for now, EURUSD is gonna be a bit tricky for us to find some opportunities, so I'll just look at US30. So this one here is too clean. Let me just go back up to the 4 hour. This one here is looking nice, looking clean. I like the fact that even the previous week when we spoke about it, like when we were still somewhere around here, how certain moves could happen and stuff, and that's literally how it's moving. So now you can see properly from that first touch, second touch, third touches here, and basically we're seeing a sell off. This could be the first take profit, and then we could see price going all the way below, because lower low, and obviously more lower lows coming up all the way to the downside somewhere around here. So with this here, since now we can see price already broke to the downside here, so it shows that there's a lot of momentum to the downside, but we have to be smart on how we catch it. And with this, so far I can see that this area right here, this previous candlestick here, why? Because of the fact that obviously price now broke out, let's say lower low, lower high, lower low. Okay, it's not too clean. Let me just do this. To come here lower high, because this is at lower high, so it's gonna respect this and then all the way down. So basically once this happens, for me it'll be a clean execution on a sell, and more like this. I'll be looking at doing something more like this and something more like this, looking at the risk to reward. Obviously you have to be on the safe side, but that's just what I'll be looking at doing. Obviously once it does happen to get there, obviously there'll be a lot of things that I'll have to confirm with and so on, but so far it looks too clean. This is one of those setups that I am going to be focused a bit more on, because it's also on this weekly resistance right here. Let's see. Yeah, right, you can see on this daily resistance it's close to it. So yeah, it's gonna be a nice one, but obviously if it happens to just break a bit more to the upside and reach here, that's when it could be tricky, because now either price is gonna respect you and then go all the way down. And let's say for instance, if this setup doesn't work out, this could happen, breakout here, and then maybe either come back down or come back up. But anyways, what's gonna determine that is gonna be what happens throughout this whole at this area, you understand? So we can't really say up until it does happen. But so far we can see also this impulse, this correction. So if we see another drop all the way down before we see a push upward. So yeah, US30 is looking clean. Gold, so this one here, same thing. Currently right now where we are, let's just see, we are around these areas here, support here, and since the previous week we did look at it here, it's just that we were waiting for it to gauge it before we could experience that buy, but it didn't get there yet. So now within this area, let's see, it's 15 minutes. And let me just see now. So currently I can see, let me just put this line all the way from here. I can add this more like this, and then I'm seeing, okay, perfect. And then from the downside, this is what I'm doing. Okay, so I can see there's more of an expanding wedge. So instead of it like coming closer and tighter, it's opening up, and then either price is gonna and then go back down, or this, because you can see now third touch, so price could respect this as that touch, and then just come here before it goes all the way down. Also, what could potentially happen is a move whereby price either respects this as resistance, gives a double top, and then a sell off. So there's also something that could potentially happen. And if that does happen, obviously if this is a support that's holding, means that price has to now push a bit more upwards. And then once it gets here and then sell, once the breakout, that's where it's confirming the sell, and then boom, the next drop. But also this area could play a part, so it needs to be focused. Like, let's say once the market opens, let it run a bit and like just observe it, see what it says, and then ultimately when it presents the setup that you've been waiting for is when you need to be executing, not when you wanted to do it. Like now I can't say I wanted to go up and then go down, and then now I'm, as soon as the market opens, I'm like scalping it throughout. No, I still have to enjoy the benefits of it. So with this one here, BTC USD, beautiful buy. It actually could have buy. I took a buy today, and yeah, it's a nice one. Let's just see price pushed upwards. Price is now this beautiful pattern here, and price pushed upwards as well. And then you can see this nice squeeze tight pattern that was presented here, and then it broke all the way to the upside, and then now we can see another nice pattern that's being presented here. So with this seed being very impulsive to the upside, and we just now have to basically stack up and do the right thing. So an opportunity that I saw this one here was today actually. Just do this. Yes. So it was more on I just noticed that, okay, let me take it easy. I'm seeing this beautiful first and second touch and third touches here, and at the same time, I understand that this could be an area of resistance. So then put it more like this. So then took a buy somewhere here, break, and then had a store somewhere just below here. First take profit here, but I'm looking to just scale up and go all the way upwards there. So this is more of a long-term trade. It's not so long-term trade would be me coming with it from here to this all the way up to break of this to here. And I'll just be adding on. Okay. And obviously if it doesn't play out, if it happens to maybe go a bit below, I'd still be able to see if this support is gonna hold. And then once it does hold, maybe we'll look for more buy opportunities. So it's more about trying to be on the right side of the market compared to anything else. And I hope that this video did add value. Obviously, if you did happen to find value on it, make sure that you like and as well hit that subscribe button each and every Monday. I make sure that I put out such videos for you to learn from my own experiences in the market. It is a Lesiba Mothupi. Thank you so much for watching.